Jai Hind student, myself Pancham Singh, Assistant Professor in IT Department. I am going to deliver 5th lecture on software testing. So what is the software testing? I am going to discuss the content of software testing. So in this lecture I will discuss about the introduction and what is the software testing, objective of the software testing, goals of the testing methodologies, software testing life cycle phases, testing labels, types of performance testing and conclusion. So first I am going to discuss about what is the software testing. So software testing is a process used to help identify the correctness, completeness and quality of developed computer software. So if you are going to discuss about the software testing, so definitely we are going to discuss about the quality of the software, correctness of the software, completeness of the software. So if you are going to launch the software, so definitely you will first test the software and it will fulfill the all requirement, then you will launch or deployment the software for the use. There are many approaches to software testing for using aim2 tools, automated testing. So testing is performed on different levels. In terms of the software testing is performed on the software in terms of the bugs, errors and fault and failures. If you are going to test the another type of testing, so it may be depend upon the physical parameters on the basis of the performance of that machine, performance of the machine on the basis of results. But in software testing, so software based testing is only testing the requirement features like in types of like errors, bugs, fault, failure. So these are types of testing is based on the software testing. So what is the software testing? So executing software in a simulated or real environment using input selected somehow. So if you're going to check the software, either it is working or not in a proper way, so first you will check on the basis of the input variables. If the result is getting as per the input variable, then you can say your software is working properly. If software is not working properly, it means that as per the input you are not getting the output. Maybe there is some error, maybe there is some fault, so that we are not getting the correct result. So what are the objective of the software testing? So if you're going to discuss about the testing, so definitely we are going to test the errors. So error is a type of error or bug is a both type of problems generally we will face in the software testing. So demonstrate a given software product matching its requirement specification. What is the requirement? It means that what variables you have declared in the program, in your software, and if you are getting corresponding result for that given variables, then you can say your software is working properly. How you will validate the software? So validate the quality of software testing using the minimum by using the minimum cost and effort. So minimum cost and effort means what cost and what the effort you are doing on that particular software. On the basis of that, you will validate this software is working properly. Next point is the generate high quality test cases, performance, effectiveness test and issues, correct and helpful problem reports. So if you are going to test the different level of testing, so definitely we are testing the quality of the software, performance of the software without giving any errors, without giving any bugs. So testing is basically before the deployment of the phase, where you will test the software on the basis of wear and tear, and you are checking the results, you are checking the performance of that particular software, then after you will deploy the software. So what is the bugs, errors and fault and failure? So I am going to discuss about the error. So what is the error? It is a human action that produces the incorrect result that produce a fault. So error is basically human type of actions through which we are getting the fault or failure. Now move forward. The next one is the bug. The presence of error at the time of execution of the software, that is called the bug. So at the time of the execution you are not getting the correct result, then you can say there is a bug. Now what is the fault? State of software caused by an error. So fault state of the software called by an error. So error is giving the fault. So if there is a error, then it means that you are not getting the correct result, and it will create the problem in the software, and it is also known as the fault. What about the failure? Deviation of the software from its expected result, it is an event. So if you are not getting the expected result as per the given input, as per the given variables, then you can say your system is not working properly, or you can say your system is in the failure mode. So these are the differences among the error, bug, fault and failure. Now I am going to discuss about what are the goals of the software testing. So basically testing is used for the different purposes. Like we are going to check the faults in a system. Now, and second point is the establish confidence in the software, evaluate project properties of the software. So these are the basic terms, or you can say these are the goals of the software where you are going to perform the testing. So in terms of the testing, we are going to discuss about the first point is the reliability. Is your software is reliable or not? So we will check the reliability in the software. Now also you will check the performance of the software. Your system is performing as well as per the input or not. Now move for the check the memory usage. How much memory your software is using. Now how much security your software is providing the users. What is the usability of that particular software? So our goal is to test the every level of the software. If every level of the software is performing good, then you can say your software is properly working, and you may deploy the software. So what are the testing methodologies? Basically how you will test the software. So there are two important methodology. Now I am going to discuss one by one. The first is the white box testing, and second is the black box testing. So what is the white box testing and what is the black box testing? I am going to discuss in detail. So white box testing basically knowledge of the internal program design and code required. So it will check the internal program design and code in white box testing. Now it also tests the coverage of the code statement, branches, path, conditions. So basically white box testing is check the internal programs in terms of the code statement, branches, path and conditions. Now I am going to discuss about the next one is the black box testing. So in black box testing, basically what you will check. So in black box testing basically it will check the internal program design or code required. So it will not have the knowledge of the internal program design code or requirement. So what is the difference between white box and black box testing? White box basically cover the internal program issues, but in black box testing it will not cover the internal program issues. Now next point is that tests are based on requirement and functionality. So requirement and functional, basically it will check the requirement and functionality. On the basis of that you will check the correct result. So what are the difference between both? So in white box testing we will check the internal level, and in black box testing you check the functionality level of that particular software. So in this figure you can clearly see the differences of the white box testing. So basically white box testing is testing the component level. Component means code level, internal level of the testing. After that you will derive the test cases and you will test on the data. Test data is also tested, and it will again test by the component level. So here what are you doing? You are testing the things in a circular manner. So you can see in the previous level, let's say you are testing the code statement, branches, path and conditions. So you will, in white box testing you will test these type of labels. Now move for and after that you will get the result in the form of test output. So testing in white box in the internal level, and after that you will get the result. Now move for what is the black box testing. So why black box testing is different than the white box testing? So in black box testing basically you will test on the basis of functionality and requirements. So events you are passing and requirements are coming and you are giving the input. So after combination of these three, then you will check the output. So output it will be checked on the basis of the functionality of that particular software. So if the functionality of that particular software is meet as per the requirement, then you can say testing is performed on like a black box testing. So software testing life cycle phases. So what are the life cycle phases in software testing? So software testing basically comes on the fifth level of phases in life cycle model. The first phase is the requirement gathering, second is the analysis, third one is the design phase, fourth one is the development, and next one is the testing, then deployment, and then maintenance. So these are the phases in the life cycle model. So first phase is the requirement study. So if you're going to develop a software, so first you will check the requirements. So what are the requirements of the user and how you will collect the data or collect the requirement gathering. Now check second one is the test case design and development. So when you will collect the requirement, then you will move for the next phase, that is called the design phase, and or you can say next phase, and third one phase is the development phase. So there are two phases are combined here. So first phase is the requirement, no issue. Second phase is the design phase and development phase. Next one is the text execution, text closure. Next phase is the text exclusion. Another one is the text closure, and another one is the text process analysis. So software testing life cycle phases basically cover all these requirement phases one by one, through which we can go to check the software, either your software is validate or not. If all the requirement features are satisfied in the software, then you can say your software testing is performed well and your software is giving the correct result. Requirement study. So what is the requirement study? The requirement study means testing cycles start with the study of the client's requirement. So what client's requirement are basically there. So client requirement means as per the requirement you will develop the software. Okay. Now next point is the understanding of the requirement is very essential for the testing the product. So first you will understand the requirement. So what type of requirement is basically required for developing that particular project. So requirement, that understanding of the requirement is very essential. If you're not known about the requirement, then you will not test the software. So requirement is requirement gathering, or you can say understanding of requirement is the initial phase of the software. Now move for the next one is the analysis and planning. So what are the analysis? Let's say you have collected the data or you have collect the requirement specification. Then now how you will apply the analysis phase, analysis and planning phase. So analysis and planning means test, objective and coverage. What are the objectives and what are the coverage of testing? Now move for the next one is the overall schedule. What are the overall schedule of that analysis? Third one is the standard and methodology. What methodology you will use on that particular requirement gathering of that documents. Now next one is the resource requirement. Resource requirement is the first. So analysis and planning means in analysis and planning what you will do, you will perform different points in the analysis and point. Last 2 points are very important: roles and responsibilities of the team members. What are the roles and responsibility of the team members? What are the, means if you are going to perform the design phase, development phase, then what is the next phase? That is next phase is the testing phase. So the team requirement are very essential for developing any software. So every phase of the development of the software are very important as per the life cycle model. So what tools you will use? So which type of tools or methodology you will use to design that particular software? So what is the next point is the test case design and development. Test case design and development means what? Component identification, test specification design, test specification review. So test case design and development. So first you will test the documentation part, then you will go for the design part, then you will go for the implementation part. So Test case, before you go, you will go for the design. That is these three are important test case part. That is component identification, test specification design, and test specification review. Next one is the test execution. Test execution means code review. So you will check the code part, the code review part, test execution and evaluation, performance and simulation. So what are the result you are getting as per the performance of that particular software, and simulation, you are simulating the result as per the requirement. So these are the three important points. After execution, you will check the code, test execution and evaluation, performance and simulation. So these are the three important points in the test execution, and upper point is the test case design. Test closure. What is the test closure? Test closure basically consists of three important points. The first point is the test summary. So you will, if you are going to test the software, then you will put the result, or you put the summary of that particular test case. So test summary of report, project debrief, project documentation. Test closure include three important points. These are the important points which will cover in the test closure. What is the test process analysis? So test process analysis basically analysis done on the reports and improving the applications performance by the implementing new technologies. So test process analysis means for improving the performance of that particular software. If that performance of that software is not up to date, then you will apply the additional technologies to improve the performance of that software. What are the software labels? So how many software labels are there? What is the software testing? Software testing have the three important labels. That is, first is the unit testing, second integration testing, and next one is the system testing. So if you are going to discuss about the unit testing, means you are going to test the software individually by the developer. So you are going to test each module individually. So developer is testing the every module one by one in the unit testing. Basically, it is based on the Whitebox testing, and it is done by the developer. Now move for the next one is the integration testing. So what is the integration testing? So if once you have tested the all document in the form of the unit testing, then you will move for the integration testing. So it is a systematic testing. Why you can say it is a systematic testing? Because you have performed the first unit testing, then after you will perform the integration testing. So before unit testing, you cannot perform the integration testing. What integration testing is basically produced? So it produces tests to identify errors associated within the interfacing. So these are the types basically we will cover in the integration testing. The first one is the Big Bang integration testing. Second is the top-down integration testing. So in top-down, you know very well, this is a functional based testing where you will test the whole software in a top-down manner. What is the bottom-up testing? In bottom-up testing, you will test the software in bottom-up approach. And what is the mix-based testing? In mix-based testing, you will test the in types of top-down as well as bottom-up testing. What is the system testing? So system testing is a final testing where you will test the software. So the system as a whole is tested to uncover requirement errors. It means that you are testing at the last level, that is called the system testing, where you have earlier performed unit testing, integration testing, then you will come for the system testing. So verify that all system elements work properly and that overall system function and performance has been achieved. So the software is properly worked, and what you are getting as per the input requirement, as per the variables you have declared in the software, and they are working in integration manner. Then you will get the complete testing, that is called the system testing. So types of system testing. So there are 4 important types of system testings are there. The first is the alpha testing, second is the beta testing, next one is the acceptance testing, and last one is the performance testing. So if you are going to test the system, then definitely you will move for one by one, then you will complete the whole type of testing, that is called the system testing. So what is the alpha testing? So alpha testing basically it is carried out by the test team within the developing organization. So developing organization is testing that level, that is called the alpha testing. Now move for the next one is what is the beta testing? So it is performed by a selected group of friendly customers. Selected group of friendly customers. So definitely we will test the beta testing at the group of the customers. They are in the group and we are performing the beta testing. Now what is the acceptance testing? It is performed by the customer to determine whether to accept or reject the delivery of the system. So if you are going to deliver the software, so before delivering the software you will perform the acceptance testing. So in this testing you will test the software and after that you will deliver the software. What is the last one testing is the performance testing. So what is the performance testing? So it is carried out to check whether the system meets the non-functional requirement identified in the software requirement documentation. So performance testing, you are going to test the software that are given in the SRS. That is called the performance testing. Now I am going to discuss about the testing means types of performance testing. So we are going to perform different types of testing. The first one is the stress testing, and next one is the volume testing, configure testing, compatibility testing, regression testing, recovery testing, maintenance testing, documentation testing, and usability testing. So these are the types of performance testing generally you will perform in the software. So in this PPT, I am going to conclude about that, the testing. So testing is basically fifth level of the software lifecycle model, where you will perform the testing. After that, you will deploy the software. So software is going to deployment only on the basis of number of test cases, either in case of the alpha testing, in the case of the beta testing, in case of system testing, unit testing, integration testing. So all type of testing. Why all types of testing are required for deploying a software? So if you are going to deploying a software, definitely you will check the performance of the software. You will check the result of the software. Either maybe it will give the result as per the requirement, maybe it will give the result as per not requirement. Then you will deploy the software. Thank you.